If this were my last lecture, I wouldn't tell you how to succeed. I wouldn't list advices to answer. I'd tell you how to feel. Because when I look back on everything, the places I've been, the memories I've made, the people I've loved, I realized that what mattered most wasn't the timeline I followed or the goals I reached. It was the moments. The ones that were quiet and slow. The ones that didn't ask to be remembered, but stayed anyways. The ones that where time slipped away, and all I could do was be. I remember watching the sun melt into the ocean, with salty air brushing my skin and no noise except the tide. I remember the boat rides, just the hum of the motor and the wind in my hair, and how for a moment it felt like time stopped, like the whole world softened around me. Those scenes don't look like much from the outside, but in those seconds, everything felt enough. Enough to just exist, to breathe in beauty, to realize I didn't need to be anywhere else but here. The mountains taught me that feeling too, how small we are, and how big that makes the world. They made me feel like a single breath inside something infinite, and somehow that didn't make me feel lost, it made me feel found. I've seen places that stole my breath and gave it back in a way that made me feel more alive. Not because of what I was doing, but because how I was being. Not racing, not chasing, just there, still, in awe. And even in the in-betweens, the layovers, the winding roads, the long car rides with the windows down, I found moments that mattered. Because life doesn't just happen when the destination is reached. It happens in motion, in transition, in moments where you think nothing special is happening. But you'll look back and realize they were everything. Sometimes we wait for life to happen in the big chapters, college, careers, milestones. But life happens in the middle too, in the slow mornings and late night drives, in the messy conversations and unplanned adventures, in laughter that shows up unexpectedly, in silence that makes me feel at peace. I used to think I had to chase happiness, like it was a finish line, a box I had to check. Now, I think it was never running. It was sitting quietly, right next to me, just waiting for me to notice it. The kind of happiness that isn't loud. It doesn't need an audience. It's just you, fully present in a moment you didn't even expect to love. And it becomes something sacred. And then, there were the moments that weren't quiet at all. The nights under the stadium lights, and it felt like the whole world was in one place. The cheering, the pain on our faces, the laughter that echoes across the field, the adrenaline, the chaos, the joy of being part of something bigger. We weren't just watching a game, we were living it. It wasn't about the score, it was about the togetherness. The feeling that we belonged together, that we mattered just by showing up. And now those moments feel like something golden, something we couldn't recreate if we tried. Because it wasn't a game, it was the people, the memories we made by accident. And the festivals, I think those were the loudest proof that being present doesn't always have to be quiet. The beat pulsing through the ground, lights flickering like fireworks. Everyone singing the same lyrics like it was a prayer. You didn't need to know what time it was. You didn't need to have your future figured out. You just were. Completely free, completely present, completely alive. And in those moments it hit me. This is what it's all about. Not the perfect grades, not the college admissions, not the next step on the timeline we're all expected to follow. But the feeling of right now, of this is it. So if I could give you anything, any lesson to carry forward, it would be this. Take it all in. Every sunset, every laugh, every mistake, every surprise, even the goodbyes. Because this chapter, the ones we're closing now, was filled with things we'll never get back. But that's what makes them sacred. Let yourself feel all of it. The joy, the heartbreak, the confusion, the freedom, the moments you wish would last forever, and the ones you couldn't wait to move past. Because one day, you might even miss those too. Don't be afraid to feel things deeply, to cry over something silly, to tell your friends you love them. even if you don't say it perfectly. Be here, be loud, be soft, because life doesn't slow down for anyone. But if you pay attention, you'll start to notice how much life is happening around you, even in the ordinary. And maybe that's the point.